Act 1, The Cabin. Stillwater, Colorado was one of those places that looked peaceful from the outside. Pine-covered hills, shimmering lakes, quaint shops. But the locals never camped in Black Pines, not since the killings in 1998. 5 college friends didn't care about small-town legends. Maya, the level-headed journalism major, Chris, her protective boyfriend, Jenna, horror fan and drama student, Devin, prankster with a twisted sense of humor, Lex, quiet, camera always in hand. They rented an old Forest Service cabin for a last hurrah before real life began. Isolated, no signal, no neighbors for miles, just how Devin liked it. On the drive up, they passed a faded wooden sign, half buried in overgrowth. Danger, no trespassing, area condemned. They laughed. Devin took a selfie with it. Act 2, Whispers in the Woods. The first day was peaceful. They explored the lake, built a fire, told scary stories. Jenna, obsessed with urban legends, told the one about the Black Pine slasher. The story went like this. His name was Eli Mercer. He and his wife, Annabelle, were forest wardens who lived in the woods with their son, Caleb. In 1997, a group of drunk hunters mistook Caleb for a deer and shot him through the chest. Annabelle bled to death trying to save him. The state called it a tragic accident. Eli called it murder. He disappeared that winter. The next spring, 4 of the 5 hunters were found mutilated and strung up in the trees like deer carcasses. The 5th was never found. Locals claimed Eli had gone mad, made a home deep in the woods, and wore a rotting deer skull over his face as a trophy. The antlers were still blood-stained. Some said he whispered to the trees, that he was the woods now. No one who entered Black Pines after dark ever came back the same, if they came back at all. The group laughed it off. Act 3, Disappearances. The next night, Devin disappeared. They thought it was a prank, until they found his phone on the porch, its screen shattered, smeared with red mud and what looked like fingernail scratches. Jenna called out for him in the woods. Only silence answered. That night, Lex set up motion-activated cameras around the cabin. Around 2 a.m., one snapped a picture. A tall man, antlers wide, stood motionless just behind the tree line, holding something long, jagged. They checked the photo twice, then a branch snapped. When Chris opened the back door to check, something pulled him into the dark, screaming. Then, silence. Act 4, The Slaughter begins. Panic set in. Maya and Jenna wanted to run, but the car's engine was gutted. Lex suggested waiting for daylight. They barricaded themselves inside with kitchen knives and fireplace tools. At 3:16 a.m., a loud thud came from the roof, then dragging sounds. Lex vanished trying to reach the attic. Blood trickled down through the wooden beams above. The next few hours were a blur. Flickering lights, whispers in the vents, claw marks on the floorboards. At one point, Maya swore she saw a face in the mirror that wasn't hers, wide black eyes staring through bone. Jenna didn't make it to sunrise. Her throat was slit while hiding under the bed. Maya found her with her mouth sewn shut with fishing wire. Act 5, The Final Girl. Maya ran at first light. Her bare feet were torn, the dress soaked in blood and mud. She never looked back until she reached the edge of the road, where she collapsed in front of a ranger's jeep. They said she was hysterical, claimed it was a bear attack, claimed she imagined it all, but the search teams found no bears. What they did find, half a mile into the woods, was a clearing full of animal bones, and human ones. In the center, a shrine of antlers, moss, and cracked skulls. With 5 Polaroids nailed into the trees, the 5th was blank, waiting. The Black Pine Slasher, The Last Route. Act 1, Ghosts of the Forest. 2 years have passed since Maya barely escaped Black Pines. The fires she set didn't kill Eli Mercer. They only made him angrier. Now the disappearances are increasing. Hikers, campers, even rangers have gone missing. Always near the same region, always silent. No blood trails, just whispers among the trees, claw marks on bark, and in some cases, antlers driven into trees like stakes. But something's different. This isn't just killing, it's hunting, organized, ritualistic. Maya, long off the grid, gets word through a dark web forum for survivors of unexplained trauma. Someone posts photos of a new shrine, not burned but rebuilt, bigger, fresh. The post is titled, "He's Not Alone Anymore." She knows what it means. Eli Mercer is making disciples. Act 2, The Huntress. Maya is no longer a victim. She's trained, survived. She's covered her body in the same sigils carved into the trees. She's studied the land, the old ranger maps, the tunnels the public doesn't know exist. She's not going back to escape this time. She's going back to end it. Armed with military surplus gear, a sawed-off shotgun, and a hand-drawn map of Mercer's known kills, she heads back into Black Pines. But something's wrong. The forest is quieter, still, watching. That night, she finds proof of the worst. 3 masked figures, watching her from across the clearing, wearing crude antlers, stitched bone armor, and one of them whispering prayers into the dirt. They're not just followers, they're becoming him. Act 3, Mercer's Children. Captured, bound, bleeding, Maya awakens in the undergrove, a network of caverns beneath Black Pines, where Mercer now lives like a king of rot. Dozens of figures kneel before him. His skull mask is cracked, jaw exposed beneath bone. He's older, slower, but he doesn't need speed anymore. He has acolytes. They call themselves the Rootbound. Survivors, drifters, runaways, all taken and remade. Each one wears something of his victims, teeth strung as necklaces, scalps sewn into hoods. Mercer approaches Maya, stares into her eyes. "You escaped death, twice. That makes you strong, not prey, not anymore." He doesn't want to kill her, he wants her to replace him. She's the only one who ever survived, the only one who knows the woods like he does, the only one whose trauma was deep enough to match his. Blood remembers, roots reach back, the forest chose you too. Act 4, Becoming. They bring her a mask made from polished bone, offer it like a crown. For a moment, Maya considers it. What if she stopped running? What if she was the hunter now? The moment is broken by a voice, familiar. Detective Voss, alive. She's barely breathing, chained to a root like a sacrifice. They kept her alive to break Maya, that's the line. Maya rips the mask in half and carves through the rootbound with fire and steel. Shotgun blasts echo through the cavern. Gasoline ignites shrines. She frees Voss, and together they fight their way out in a bloodbath of bone and bark. Maya finally faces Mercer one-on-one beneath the twisted heart tree where his son died. She buries an axe in his chest and whispers, "Let the woods forget you." She burns the heart tree to ash. Act 5, The Final Route. Stillwater covers it up again. A cult suicide. Forest fire. Nothing to see here. Maya vanishes after that night, so does Voss. But hikers report something strange years later. A new figure in the woods. No longer wearing a mask. Her face is bare, eyes hollow. She doesn't kill. Not unless you lie to the woods. Not unless you forget what happened here. Some say she's the forest's guardian now. Others say she replaced Mercer. Maybe she always would. Because sometimes the only way to kill a monster is to become one. Epilogue. The Body in the Pines. 3 weeks after the fire that consumed the undergrove, a recovery team is sent in under orders from Stillwater Forestry in the state. The official report labels the incident a meth-fueled cult fire. No mention of Mercer, no survivors listed. They find bones, hundreds, some charred, some stripped clean, others stacked in arrangements no human could explain. They find the remains of Mercer's shrine, burned black, split down the center like a dying tree. They even find Mercer's mask, the iconic deer skull, cracked and blood-stained. But not his body. There's no trace, no ash pile, no corpse, no drag marks, just a single handprint in black soot pressed against the trunk of a massive pine tree. The bark where the handprint rests is wet, bleeding sap that looks unnervingly red. One of the recovery crew, a veteran firefighter named Hale, begins to act strange a few days later. He doesn't sleep, starts carving symbols into the walls of his motel room, stops responding to calls, then he disappears. His truck is found outside Black Pines. Inside it, a single Polaroid. It shows the search team standing around the ruins of the shrine, but in the background, deeper in the woods, barely visible, a figure, tall, broad, standing between the trees, no mask, no face, but the antlers remain.